Good afternoon, everybody. I can see a lot of you joining us today, which is just fantastic. 2 years ago, Australia for UNHCR launched the Leading Women Fund to give refugee women and girls the hope and resources to build a better future for themselves and their communities.
The Syrian war it's going on its 11th and 12th year. There's no end in sight. So the challenge for us is, how do we help the 700,000 Syrian refugees that are just registered with UNHCR to gain some level of independence, right? Create some level of hope so that they can invest in their and their children's futures. Giving them cash so that they can decide what their priorities are, when to spend the money, where to spend it, where to buy what they need. And it's one of the things that when I speak with the women refugees, they say is, the most amazing thing about the cash, it's like, I decide. I decide what my family needs, not you, not my neighbors. I decide. And so that's incredibly empowering. And it's really important for their sense of self and their own agency. They use it to pay rent and they use it to buy food. And if there's anything left, then they use it for medicine, education of their children, basic, sanitary napkins. I mean, it really just is about survival, and they really do prioritize the most basic needs. But with UNHCR and other actors, we're trying to look to the future. So we've been moving towards mobile wallets as a way to give refugee households and refugee women access to be able to manage their money in a safe place. Instead of walking around with cash, they're able to store their money, they're able to save their money, they're able to build a financial transaction history so that they can perhaps access microcredit, microfinance, start a small business. We're helping to connect refugee women to livelihood opportunities so that they can have sustainable incomes for their families. So we're really trying to help them move beyond just relying on humanitarian assistance in the short term, but actually building foundations for greater self-reliance and independence in the future.
I actually started my life out as a refugee, as a young child. My father was a soldier in the South Vietnamese army, but we were really fortunate to get humanitarian visas to Australia. And so that's when I took my first flight with my mum, sisters, and dad. With all the fortunate circumstances that I've had as a refugee, what does it actually mean, all this sort of privilege and being able to have the advantages that I've had, if I'm not able to use that in a way to give back? And so that's sort of been the journey why I was very, when the Leading Women's Fund first started, just that opportunity to give back and to pay it forward, that you can have these people in the most unfortunate circumstances, right, outside of their control, just extraordinary things that happen. And yet they are still the most courageous, kind people, and they know what's best for them and their families at the end of the day. I mean, just imagine the collective impact we have. And even with just the Leading Women's Fund, since we've been doing this, Trudy, I've just been so inspired by the incredible women who've taken this journey of supporting other women.
As a part of signing up to the Leading Women Fund, members have the opportunity to use UNHCR's World First Connecting Worlds app. The app offers the unique opportunity to pair a Leading Women Fund member with a Syrian refugee woman in Jordan.
I'm a people person and I like connecting. So right out of the gate, when I heard about the Leading Women Fund, I heard about it in the same breath as they were talking about the app. So the app was an immediate draw for me. The opportunity to connect on that personal level was really interesting to me. How the app itself was incredibly easy to use. It really does take you into a different space where it's only, I think the first year I did it for 4 weeks and the second year was 6 weeks. Yeah, it's a phenomenal, kind of a life-changing experience. And if you're interested and you have the chance, please put your name down, because it's really something that I can't imagine you'd ever regret. One of the things I love about the fund is it's not just writing a check. Everybody here is interested and interesting and kind of, rolls up your sleeves and wants to get involved. So we have something in common. So I think that was another big piece of what was appealing about the fund.
Thanks, everybody. Really appreciate your time. Have a good day, Meta. Have a great day, Lynn. Thanks very much, Kim.